Hey guys, CalHD here, and welcome back to a brand new video on my second channel, and it's going to be a start of a new series on Prison Architects. It's a game that has just come out of early access and is now a full game on Steam, and I've had this game for quite a while. I was introduced to it back like a year ago, and I've been on and off this game, and I've come back to it because it's now out of early access. It's been released as a full game, and it's one of these games that it's just been made so well, and I will try and tell you why throughout this entire series. And the one thing I'm going to say at the start of this video is the community that have played this game have had so much input on just changing little things and the way that little clever things work, and it is a really good game, and there's no other way to show it apart other than actually playing it. So I'm going to do a little series on this. I think I'm just going to make one prison. Obviously it is Prison Architect, so we're kind of making a prison. I think that's kind of in the name, but I'm going to make one prison, and we're going to try and make it as big as possible before we either get sacked, or B, we can sell it for a good amount of money, maybe like £1 million. Maybe I think you can sell it for almost up to that. We'll see how we go. Or the series may stop if the episodes maybe get too long, or it will maybe get on too long. But nonetheless, let's move straight into the video, and we're going to create a new prison, and we're going to have a large place. Let's have a bit of a large place there, and we're going to have fog of war on. So that is where any of the places where a guard or a CCTV camera cannot see, it will go like foggy or black. Forest, yeah, will generate. Lakes are just awkward, as are buildings. There's basically no point for that. Failure conditions, so that is getting sacked for such as too many riots or bankruptcy, or too many deaths or escapees. Gangs and events, we're definitely going to have them on just for a bit more fun. Unlimited funds, we're obviously not going to have that on. Next, on the left hand side, you can choose your warden. I'm not overly sure which warden we have. Each warden has different traits, so such as the lobbyist, it halves the likelihood of receiving prisoners who are violent. But you've got other ones such as Rita, you've got J.W. Periwinkle, okay then. The pacifier. Now, I believe the pacifier is one of the best. I think it just it reduces the overall temperature of your prisons. That doesn't mean temperature in the sense that it's colder. It's kind of hard to explain. It's just, I don't think it's really colder. It's the temperature in the sense that how annoyed people are. So I think we're going to use the pacifier. I'm going to go and play this game, and this is the map that we're able to use. And there is our supply truck with all of our workmen coming down, and they're going to get delivered in the deliveries area. And we're going to start off by really starting to plan it, but I'm just going to try and take you through everything that's going on the screen. So just click spacebar to stop it. Obviously, there's 3 different modes, kind of a bit like The Sims. So looking in the top left-hand corner, we've got a to-do list, very helpful to keep it on top of all the things you need to do. We're going to read the CEO's letter. I've read this time and again, so you guys can pause the video now if you do want to actually see any of this. But basically, just trying to say every prison needs a warden, so you can do like bureaucracy and just generally improve the prison. You need individual jail cells, but they are expensive. A kitchen and canteen are definitely needed, and a prisoner is expensive, so you need to be careful with money. That's basically the entire thing there. I'm going to click delete on that. You see also in the top left hand corner is the prisoner intake. So in 23 hours time, we're going to get 8 prisoners, 2 minimum security and 6 normal security. Now we can change this. Where do we go? We go to intake, and we can see how many. So this is how many inmates you do want, but you can also see here that the ratio of what inmates you want. Obviously, there's no maximum security inmates are available to go into our prison yet, so we can't have them, but we can have a ratio of what we require. And you can also have none. You can have all of them that are required. And obviously, you can see there, payment. The higher the risk of your inmate, the higher amount of money you're going to get. There's also other things around here. So these are the staff that you're going to have. These will go up slowly. Prisoners, obviously, that will be there once we have prisoners. Intake you already saw. Jobs is once the education comes on. But we've also got the rest of these are all been blanked out because you need certain people. So you need a warden, you need a psychologist, you need to research prison report and prison policy, and you need to do that in the bureaucracy, which is in the top left hand corner. But there's one thing here, and it's the grants, and you basically get a certain amount of money to hover over basic detention centre. You get given, it's just 30 grand overall. You get 20 grand in up front to go, right, okay, you can build a holding cell, a shower, a yard, a kitchen, a canteen. You need to hire at least 2 guards and 2 cooks, and then you'll get 10 grand for completing all of that. So what we're going to do, we can pick 2 at a time. There is one thing in the bureaucracy that you can increase to 3. But we're going to get the basic detention centre because that's kind of the thing you need to do initially. And then you also need to, I think, which one should we do? I think, I think we do administration centre because that's just quite helpful anyway. Right, so let's have a little back out of this. And the biggest thing about this is about planning. You need to plan your prison quite well. We're just going to unpause this so that our workmen can come down here. But the one thing you need to do is plan your prison correctly. So there's a whole planning tool here, which you can plan out certain areas that you may want. But what I'm going to be doing first is maybe building a holding cell, a shower, maybe a reception when first inmates started to come into our prison. But the first thing we're going to start off with, I think we're going to start off with a holding. As you know, we'll start off with a reception. So we've got two places here where the like all garbage and it says garbage, not garage. Well done, brain. Garbage will be all put there, and all the deliveries, such as like bricks and stuff like that. We'll actually try and wait. There's the other truck as well that will be coming down here. So the first thing I think we're initially going to do, I think we ought to build some sort of reception. So where the inmates first come in. So we're going to build that 10 by, maybe make that 10, maybe make it a bit wide. Maybe make it, yeah, let's just make it 10 by 10. That's how big, actually we could just go straight away and just go into the foundation. So we're going to build a 10 by 10 little reception here. And I think up here we're going to build some sort of holding cell. Now, I think we can possibly put this here. So we're going to have a 10 by 15 holding cell. Maybe make it 15 by 15 holding cell. A fairly big place for all of our inmates to stay. Just initially, you can survive with putting all your inmates in a holding cell, but it's not overly required. Well, it's not the best thing to do because they can get really pissed off with other people in there. But they're going to start building this now, and hopefully we'll just try and speed this up. But the one thing we're going to start off by doing is, I think we're going to make a large jail door on the front of our prison to make it look quite scary. And then we're going to probably going to take them into here. I think we're going to have just a normal jail door. No, we can have a large jail door again and put that there, and then that will take them into the holding cell. So let's just go back there and let's just speed all this up. And we need to start thinking about maybe making some utilities. So the utilities are here, and you can do things such as power stations and water pumps, but we'll do that soon. They're just currently having to take down these trees. We can hire a couple of more workmen. You can see at the top here, but how many days you've got, how much money you've got initially, and it will say all the recent transactions. And you've also got the daily cash flow, so how much money is coming into our prison and our just general business, and how much money is going out. And obviously, if it's in the green, that's good. If it's in the red, that's bad, kind of just generally. So we're going to get 4 more of these just to get on with it, because we need to kind of hurry up with all of this, to be honest. Let me get rid of the planning stuff there. We don't need that. So we've got all of this. So they're putting in the lights at the minute. We're going to make a quick exports thing down here. This will help get money. So you can see these. You can individually sell these stacks of logs, but the best thing to do is do an exports, and this will be picked up daily. All the thing can be put in there. The workmen can put all the logs and whatnot in there. So first off, we're going to zone this area. So this is the reception, and this will be the holding cell. Now the first thing I'm going to do before we start getting into this, I think I'm going to make a utilities area. So we're going to place a power station down. I'm going to leave a 1 block radius around the outside so I can put capacitors on that. That increases the capacity of how much power we've got. Obviously, the more electrical stuff we've got, the more high demand, so the more power. Basically, capacity to stop it from blowing up and sending the entire prison into darkness. So we're going to place one of them down. I'm also going to place a water pump down as well. Just put that there. And we are going to zone this place off a little bit, because you don't want any sort of inmates and prisoners to have a little meddle with these. That's one thing you really don't want. So we're going to go for the fence, and we're just going to go around the outside of this. It should be good enough. Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to have just one prison door on it, just so, one staff door, so only staff can open that, because they're the ones with the keys, and they can make this like that. So they can get into there. We'll put 2 capacitors on this initially, just to increase the capacity of it. And next thing we need to do is bring the utilities. So we get 20 electrical cables, 20 large pipes, and no small pipes. But we can just go like that. That will connect into there. And the one thing about, the weird thing different between power and water is the fact that with power you can literally, I can put like a bit of electrical cable into there, and that will take up most of the room to power things such as lights, because it's in the circuitry of that room. But the thing is with water is that needs to be led directly into whatever it's trying to give water to, such as a toilet. It needs to have a direct power. So there you are. You can see all these lights have been taken up, but it does have a certain range. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down here and just put that down to there. Hopefully that should be enough. I think that should be enough. Let's have a look, and yes it is. So now we've got these little arrows where it's saying, oh, you need to do this and that. So one thing we do need to do, a holding cell needs to be enclosed. So I'm just going to dismantle this door because I think it kind of messed up with the way that I kind of wanted it to be placed down. But with a reception, it needs to have an office desk, a table and a chair. So we can get a office desk. Where are they? There it is. You can spin it using R. Office desk. Put a chair next to it, only makes sense. And what was it, a table? Why do we need a table? Very strange, but we can put a table just in this corner over here. There we go. And that should be put down there soon. I'm going to just very quickly put a brick wall here, just to cover that up. And then hopefully we should, yeah, and then we can, because the thing is, because I dismantled that large jail door, it's there, because there's a one there, so I'm not spending any more by putting it back down. It's better than dumping it, I suppose. In the holding cell, it needs a toilet and a bench, so we can do that as well. So we could just put a toilet there, I suppose it's closest, so we'll put a few toilets down in the, actually no, we'll save a bit of space, we'll put toilets there. And then we'll also have a shower just to keep them interested in stuff. We're going to just put some brick walls there just for a bit of privacy. There, and they can just walk through there. And then we're just going to go to utilities, get large pipes. And actually, we could just probably use small pipes from the water pump. So we go like that. There we go. And they're all individually lined up. And wow, we've only got 11 hours remaining, and we've only got a holding cell at the minute, so we need to kind of hurry up a little bit. So the next thing I'm going to do is probably start building a shower, and we can probably start putting the foundations down first. So we're probably going to have a big shower block. That's kind of the thing I'm aiming for. A reasonably big... I think I'm going to have a reasonably big one. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to aim to put a large gel door on here as well. And then what we're going to do is have a rather large corridor going all the way down here. Probably take that all the way down 20. I think I'm aiming to maybe make this entire prison indoors. I'll maybe take a bit of it outdoors as well. But then we're also going to... So we'll let them build that. Actually, no, I think... And then we're just going to have a shower block here. That's going to be a shower block on its own. Let's put that up to there like that. That is sorted. So they have already got shower and water. They've got like toilets and everything. That's kind of all they need. And the next thing we need to do is kind of I think we're going to do a canteen and kitchen. So we're going to make this pretty big initially. So we're going to make that 20 by 30. Now you may say, why is it so big? We're going to fit a canteen and a kitchen within that. Let's unpause the game, and we're going to make it go a bit faster so they can start building this. We need to get the workmen going. But I am kind of aiming to keep it all indoors. You can make an all outdoors one, just have individual buildings outside. But I'm going to try and make this indoors as much as possible. But this is going to take quite a while to get this all built. But this, I'm aiming to this to be... So initially, they all come in through the front door. They come into the reception. They get searched. They go into their holding cell. I need to also put a bench in there. I'm going to put a couple of benches down. Put a bench there, put a bench there. They'll come into the holding cell, and then once they have got a cell occupied for them, they can walk around the entire place, basically. So hopefully this should all pop into life. Right, okay, that's all popped into life. Here we go. And this bit should all pop into life as well. There we go, beautiful. So the next thing we want to be doing is putting down some more walls. So let's get a wall here, brick wall, and take that all the way down there. I'm going to take this one all the way down there. And we're just going to very quickly map out the shower room, and then I'm going to end the video. And we're going to just put a bit of a cut in, because I'm going to carry on recording, but, you know, you have to wait until later on. But let's very quickly, come on, just before, it's getting to 15 minutes in this video, probably 13, because that took me for ages to start recording. Right, we're going to have a shower in here, and then we're going to have many shower heads. Many shower heads that are going to line this outside wall. They're very expensive, so I think I'm only going to do this wall because I'm only going to get 8 prisoners next. And then we're going to go to utilities. We're going to have a rather large pipe, and we're going to take that, and we're going to go straight through the middle of the place. And then we're going to take some small pipes, and we're going to go around the perimeter of this room. Actually, no, that's a bit of a waste. Right, that's a waste. What we can do is... actually, no, it isn't a waste. We're going to have to go like that anyway. Kind of a bit of a shame, but oh well. So we've got that going, and let's just speed this all up. We need to get power as well. Electrical cables. We'll just nick a bit of this electrical cable. We're going to put a load in there, and we're also going to put a load in there. There we go, that should be all good. We've got 8 hours to go until we get some inmates. But hopefully, this place should pop into life. We're going to get some doors. We don't need any like massive doors, partly because it's a shower. They don't need to be need access to go into there. We'll also go into there as well. And I think that is everything. So guys, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you did enjoy this video, then be sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe for more of this content, also GTA and other random games that I'm doing on my second channel. If you want to check out my main channel, it's all about racing and all the stuff like that. I very rarely plug my main channel, being it is my bigger one. I'm closing in on 3,000 subscribers, so if you're interested in games such as Formula 1 and other racing games, then by all means do so. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching. I'm CalHD, and I'll see you later. Cheers.